Here's 6 legendary armor sets and weapons you can find early on in Assassin's Creed Shadows to give you a huge power spike right at the start of the game. And everything in the video can be found here in the starting region of Izumi Settsu. But there is one piece of legendary gear I'd recommend not getting until later on in the game, and I'll explain why later. This first legendary item requires you to complete an underground parkour course here in Old Kufan, which is located in the southwest of the Izumi region, just east from Sakai. But there's also a bunch of other treasure you can miss at this location. If we zoom in, you can find the entrance on the bottom left side of the old stepped burial mound. You can head into the underground passage through this crack in the wall. And I'm going to boost the brightness here so I can easily show you all the hidden chests along the path. Just head down the cave, it's pretty linear, and you'll find the first chest just here on the left. And then we have to hold down the X button to crawl underneath this next section. And just carry on into the linear pathway and down the stairs. You really can't get lost at this point. The next room has a grappling hook in the middle that you need to jump across, and then you'll carry on down the stairs and onwards. Now this next room is going to lead you to a pool which you can go ahead and dive into. If you dive down, you'll be able to follow the underwater cave through the temple, and then just go ahead and swim upwards to get into the next room. And then once again, you'll need to use your grappling hook to jump across the next water section. But if you use the observe thing and look behind you, there is actually a treasure here, so it's well worth jumping into the water anyway, just so you don't miss it. And once again, we're going to use the grappling hook. This time, instead of swinging across, we're going to go ahead and ascend up the rope and then look to our left where you'll see another chest. You have to toggle between swinging and ascending to actually do this. And then you can just hop onto the ledge and loot this chest. And now we can carry on through the dungeon. And just follow the pathway until you get to this other bit where you have to crouch down and then follow the cave all the way through. And eventually you'll come to this big room here. Now with this next room, you have to use your grappling hook and you basically have to swing back and forward like so. And then when you've got enough momentum, just go ahead and jump and then hit the other grappling hook and jump again. And then finally, we'll get to the ornate treasure chest at the end here, which has the legendary item. This is Amaterasu's Blessing, a legendary trinket which boosts our health, adrenaline gain, and critical chance, but most importantly, the legendary effect boosts our damage by 10% per every unused ability slot. And this is going to be a big damage boost at the start of the game when you probably haven't slotted 4 abilities yet. Next though, we can get ourselves a full legendary armor set, starting with the chest piece from Osaka Castle, located just over here on the map, just south of the mouth of the river that leads into the sea. And if we zoom into the castle itself, you can easily enter on the bottom right hand side of the castle, just where I've marked here. But to loot the legendary chest, you must first defeat 3 samurai dasho, and this is where you can find all 3 of them. So if we zoom into the castle, the first Ashida is going to be located just here on the castle map. You can see I'm standing just here. If I go ahead and scan, you can see he's right in the center there. And he's usually walking around the compound, so we can quite easily assassinate him like so. So after we've taken out the guy over here, we're going to walk around to where I'm standing, and the next one is located just over here, where my map marker is. And he's walking up and down this section of the wall on the left-hand side of the castle. So we're just going to go ahead and drop down here, and then sit behind this wall and wait until he walks back so we can get behind him. Another easy kill. After we killed him, we can get back on the wall here, and this is going to allow us to climb this rope to get onto the middle. So after we've taken out that guy, we're going to head over to the main castle, and just to the north side here of the castle, we're going to find the final guy. You can see he's literally just below me, and I'm standing on top of the castle right now. So we're just going to work our way down the roof here, and hopefully we can easily assassinate him. Oh, there he is. Come on. Get wrecked, son. And now we've killed all 3 of the samurai, we need to go and get the legendary chest, which is in this main building. I'm currently at the foot of the castle. We need to go all the way to the top here. So we're just going to go ahead and use our grappling hook to climb all the way to the top. And once you get to the top, you'll get to this kind of balcony area, and this is where you'll find the legendary chest. Let's go ahead and grab that. Now you've unlocked the peasant's clothes. Now this armor set boosts your critical, tool, and vulnerable damage. The legendary effect makes all your attacks have a 3% chance to remove 1 health segment on hit, which will instantly kill most enemies. And to make the most of this, you're going to want to use a fast attacking weapon. But obviously 3% is still a low proc rate early on in the game. But don't worry, the second part of this armor set, the Peasant's Hat, is actually really good in the early game. So let me show you how to get that next. It's located here in Takasuki Castle, which is in the north of the Izumi region, just across the river here. And here's where you can find the 3 samurai to unlock the legendary chest for yourself. But if we do zoom into the castle, you can see it's surrounded by a really wide lake. So here's how you can actually get inside it first. So you can see I am at this little dock on the northeast side of the castle. And we can just hop on the boat that's always parked here. Then just sail it into port right in front of you. Get out. Assassino. After you've taken this guy out, you can just climb up the bamboo on the side here. You're going to find a chest in this house right here on the right hand side, as well as some supplies. And then we can just continue up the scaffolding. And this is going to allow us to get into the castle across this rope here. You're going to find the first Dashio walking around this area. And also there's a key in that house that we need to unlock. But first, let's take this guy out just below us. And then we can just sneak up behind him in this bush. Wait until his back's turned, because then it guarantees you the assassination. And then we can make a swift disappearance. After you take him out, we need to loot this house right in front of us, where you'll find another chest, but more importantly, the actual key we need to unlock the doors of this giant tower basement door, which has a bunch of treasure in. You can actually come through this next building, where you'll find a unique piece of artwork just over here that you can collect. Tasuki Castle in this building just here is where we found that. Next, after we've taken out that guy, we're going to go to the south side of the castle. We can find the next samurai over here. So let's go and jump on the wolf here. And he's standing next to the explosive, so we can just take him out really easily. But it is still worth looting him, so I recommend dropping down anyway. And then using that key we got earlier, we can unlock this door and get the loot inside. After you've killed him, the last guy is going to be located in the southeast of the compound, just over here on the map. You can see that's the southeast wall. This is the moat, and there he is just down there. Here we go. Oh, that was close. Oh. So now we've killed all 3 samurai dashios. We can now go and find the legendary chest, which is in the tower. Now, once you climb up to the top of the tower, you will find this roof hatch, which you can actually climb into. In there, you'll find a treasure chest. And interestingly, there is a Templar cross up here as well. And this guy's been assassinated next to it. So it's kind of like an interesting Easter egg sort of deal there, I guess. We need to drop down the floor, open this. That's how you open doors. And there we go. There's the legendary treasure. Now, the legendary Peasant's Hat boosts our critical hit chance and adrenaline gain. But the legendary effect is actually really decent because it gives you another adrenaline chunk whenever you enter combat. So say, for example, you assassinate someone, you get caught, you're immediately going to get given back another adrenaline chunk. So you can use an ability which will give you an edge in combat without needing to build up that adrenaline first. Also, now you have the complete peasant armor set, so you can display it at your base or on an armor rack, along with the legendary Toolmaster armor set, which I showed you how to get last video. I'll link that below if you missed it. There's actually an easy way to get the legendary Tanto in Assassin's Creed Shadows during the quest to assassinate Wakasa, but it's easily missed. So there's 4 quests you need to do to track her down first. One of which, though, is a tea ceremony, and during that quest you learn the correct procedure of the ceremony so you don't give yourself away during the mission. So it is actually worth paying close attention to the instructions you're given on how to conduct yourself during the tea ceremony. I won't spoil who the target is, but one of them will be your assassination target, Wakasa. If you do pick correctly, you will get the legendary katana and reward without having to do the boss fight. So it's kind of like a massive shortcut. But obviously if you mess up, don't worry, you just need to track down Wakasa here on the map to Osaka Castle again. Now it is possible to assassinate her without a fight. If you want to do that, you need to start from here in the upper construction site of the castle, and then just follow where I go from here. So you can see her in the distance just over there, and we can get to her pretty easy using this tree here. And then just jumping across. She's right up there. There's a massive moat surrounding the castle, but you can just go ahead and climb across here without actually her spotting you, because she's looking out over there and she has a ridiculous range of vision. Once you hop across, you're going to want to take this guy out with your knife. You can jump down, take this guy out. And from his body, we're going to now climb up the scaffolding up the side here. And now we are right behind our target. Take this guy out, and here is our chance. Just need to wait until she's not looking at us. Here we go. Get wrecked, girl. Now, after we take her down, there's also a bunch of story dialogue, which I've cut out so I don't spoil anything. But we'll get the legendary Tanto Shinobi's Fury, which has an insane legendary effect. Now your weak point attacks on an enemy will make them vulnerable a second time. So making them vulnerable multiple times means you dish out way more damage. Next, we can grab ourselves a legendary Kusarigama weapon by finding and assassinating one of the early Onyo targets, Ada Koratake. And this can be done very early on by following his related quests. I won't spoil exactly what they are in this walkthrough, but once you take him down, you unlock the Death Whisperer. And the legendary effect on this weapon boosts the damage on enemy collisions by 200%. Which is actually insanely high, considering you can hook people with this weapon and then throw them against nearby objects, which already dealt a really good amount of damage, but now it doubles. The next piece of legendary gear we can get is located right here in the north of the Izumi region, just here on the map at the old temple ruin. And similar to the first one in the video, you've got to go through this course to actually get to the legendary chest. And once you do, you'll find a legendary bow for Yasuke, but make sure you don't get it yet, because Naoe can't actually use this weapon, and you only end up unlocking Yasuke later on. And you should also know that many of the legendary weapons you can get are hidden behind side quest content that is very easy to miss. So make sure you check out this next video here where I go over some of those quests you'll want to do to get those items.